Matthew here from the MiniWarGaming Forge. I got a fun project that I'm working on that I want to show you guys. So I'm just going to post like work in progress on this channel, and then I'll do like a really slick video when it's all done. So let's take a quick look. I think I've mentioned it before, but decided I wanted to make the Hexton Hills maps, to scale them down to 50% and to make like some really cool intricate ones from like D&D. So what you're seeing here is the roughly 800 tiles, still on supports obviously, that it will take to make Barovia from Curse of Strahd. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically Dracula. And so the old school Ravenloft fans would understand that. So I'm taking it from the 5th edition module, Curse of Strahd, took the map, made it in the Hexton Hills map maker, and then had James print off all the tiles. It took a little while because we had other stuff that we were doing as well. So you can see the different colors of resin that got mixed in there as well, but then that doesn't matter because it'll all get painted. So the next step, of course, will be putting this all together, well, taking it off supports, and then after that I'm going to buy some sort of piece of wood, hardboard or something, and to mount it on, because I don't want to magnetize this one. I actually want it mounted so it can go on the wall or something. So that's the next thing. And I still have to print off the framing as well, because they actually come, Hexton Hills has the digital files to do the frames all around it to make it flat on the sides rather than jagged. So it's a little update. Show you a couple other cool things too while I'm here. The main subject, of course, being the Barovia thing, but I have a couple things I want to show you going on in the forge. Got our print farm, the beginning of our print farm. Say hi, James. So a couple cool things that James did. First off, he's printed off names for each of the machines. So all the way from Primus Machina to Octavus Machina, and then Nonum Machina. Is that how you say that? Nonum, maybe? It's all Latin for the numbers, right? And then we got our 3 Pruses that don't need names because, well, we just stick the cards in them, and in this way, tripping over stuff. And this way, when we're using the Bamboo Labs software, we can easily identify which one is which. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's pretty neat. Probably want to throw a bit of rusty looking paint on them. Maybe we'll rust up. Oh, that's what we should do. We should rust up one of the X1 carbons. Can you imagine? Look at here, this $1,500 printer that we're going to make look like it's been destroyed. I wonder if there's things we could 3D print to make it look all patchwork. We should 3D print some gears and have them on the side to make and somehow have them plug in and turn so it looks like they're partly with the 3D printing. Oh, we got to do that now. All right, well, the idea's there. So also the other thing that James did was he side mounted these, because we were finding it annoying to reach back there to change them because we have so many of them. And you found this on Printable, right? Printables? So basically it's a thing that screws in the back where this would normally go, and then it comes around the side, and then you just screw in the thing that comes with the printers. And it makes loading and unloading quite easy compared to the way it was. And that we can quickly look and see, hey, this one's almost out of filament. I'll have to keep an eye on that. And right now we're printing a bunch of printable scenery fantasy terrain because we're working on adding it to our web store at MiniWarGamingForge.com. We're trying to basically, over the next few months, really expand sci-fi and fantasy terrain that you guys can buy actually already printed for the people who don't have 3D printers or don't have time to print it all themselves. Trying to find fair prices for it as well. Got to account for the cost of the PLA, but more importantly, the amount of time it takes. So there is always the time factor. That's actually the more expensive part, to be honest. And so we got lots of that stuff being printed. Got some Hagglethorn stuff. That's one of the Kickstarters that printable scenery did. So we're printing cool stuff from that, which is really neat fantasy terrain. Starting with fantasy because I love printable scenery and that's what they mainly have. And then we'll go into sci-fi stuff, probably from war scenery. There's a couple other places I'm looking at as well. And then over on the resin side of things, printing off stuff for a game that Dave is developing, not Ravaged Star, but just like a little side one, a 3D printable one, that will be printing and selling, called Armored Bash, where you basically have bits to convert toy cars and play a game that way. And then over here is the experimentation 3D printer now. So I'm having James run a bunch of tests with different resins because I want to find the right resin for miniatures. I'm just not satisfied so far with how miniatures turn out with resin 3D printing. They're just too brittle, too breakable. And so I've gotten some suggestions online. If you have any, leave a comment. And so we bought a bunch of different resins. Actually had a couple sent in as sponsors as well. Oh, that's a fire test. This building is not on fire. That does signify they got to finish this video soon. Anyways, so we're going to test different ones, including mixing different things as well. And hopefully within the next month, because I'm guessing it'll actually take that long, because think of it this way, every time we put a new resin in there, right now we're running calibration tests just to know the right exposure time. Then once that's done, then you can do tests. So you're looking at a couple of days per resin, and then whenever you want to switch it out, now you got to empty it, clean it out, and start fresh. And that's before we even test the new film, the new ACF film that the Sonic now, or the Frozen now has, that's supposed to speed up printing by a heck of a lot. But we'll see. So lots of fun things happening. I'm sorry we haven't been posting videos. Been so busy with these projects and other things that have come up. But we'll be seeing more at the MiniWarGaming Forge. So thanks for watching, and happy 3D printing.